What's happening, people? My name is Robbie and today we are doing a slightly different video than usual. Today we are doing a portfolio update. So in this video I'm going to break down my full investment portfolio, and this is going to be my index funds, crypto and stocks and shares. I'm not going to go into cash in the bank, property, whiskey and various other investments. This is just going to be my stocks and shares portfolio, including crypto and index funds. I've seen this trend before on various other finance channels, and it's always quite interesting to see how other people's portfolios are looking, what people are doing right, what they seem to be doing wrong. And I think we'll do this every quarter to see how the portfolio is progressing, if it's up or if it's down, what's performing the best and what's performing the worst. And I have to give a rightful mention to Ewan Copeland. Ewan is known for posting his portfolio updates on Trading 212, and just recently I seen he'd posted one, gave me the inspiration to start this video. I commented on his video telling him that I was going to steal the idea, gave me his blessing, told me to go for it, told me it should get me views, so if you're watching this, Ewan, thank you. And one last thing before we get into it, if you like the idea of portfolio updates and you're a fan of this transparency and you like to see how other people's portfolios are progressing, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel, where I'll post these portfolio updates, like I say, every quarter. And I plan on buying a few properties in the near future, and I will be documenting that whole process and how that portfolio grows as well. Now we've got that out of the way, let's start from the top. So first off, we are going to start with my Vanguard account. This is where I hold my index funds. I keep that separate from everything else, and basically the benefit of an ISA, it's known as a wrapper, and basically anything within an ISA, which is an individual savings account, benefits from being tax free. So any profits I make within this ISA, I don't have to pay capital gains tax on, which is a complete game changer if you're thinking long term, which is what this account is for. And then for my individual stocks and shares, and obviously crypto, those are out with the ISA. They're a bit riskier, still long term, but I like to keep the ISA there, just almost like a retirement plan. My current plan just now is to not touch the Vanguard account and take any money out of it until I'm 50 years old, which is 23 years from now, so hopefully should accumulate a hefty pot by then. So the smallest holding in this account is the US Equity Index Fund. Can you hear that crunching? Hold on. Right now Frankie the dog is chewing on some sort of chewy bone thing. It stinks and it's making a racket, so if you can hear that, I'm very sorry. Frankie has to be in this room just now because Brian is on a work call in the living room. Absolutely vile. Anyway, holding number one, and this is the smallest holding in the account. Don't actually remember buying it. I don't know why it's so small in comparison to the other holdings, but it is the US Equity Index Fund. I hold £42.93 in that. I don't know why, but I'm just going to leave it there anyway. It might go up, it might go down. It's £42 at the end of the day, so it doesn't really make a huge difference. Holding number two is the Emerging Markets Index Fund, and in this I have £1,382.27. And if you're wondering why I'm looking off to the side, I have a list of all the holdings just to make sure I get my numbers right. Last but not least, within the Vanguard account is my biggest holding, and that is the S&P 500. Currently sitting at £32,040.74. So this is of course huge compared to the £42.93 in the US Equity Index Fund. Now I actually think about it, when I opened up this ISA, I think I maybe bought that fund thinking it was the S&P 500 and then realised I bought the wrong one and I just left it there. That's the only reason I can think that I would hold that, because I don't even know what it is. I've never looked into that fund specifically. So as it stands just now, July 2021, I have a total of £33,465.94 in index funds. Next up is the individual stocks and shares. So we'll start with my Hargreaves Lansdown account, and at the top we have Warehouse REIT. So a REIT is a real estate investment trust. So Warehouse REIT primarily invests in large warehouse properties. They'll provide storage, warehouse and fulfillment solutions to large companies. With the death of the high street and a lot of companies moving online, I thought that it would be a good investment to invest in warehouse solutions. But obviously it can be quite expensive to buy a warehouse and run a warehouse. So you can invest in a real estate investment trust like this one. I currently have £600.54. Next up is Berkshire Hathaway, which is Warren Buffett's investment company. If you're interested in finance, most likely you know who Warren Buffett is and why Berkshire Hathaway are so well known and why they perform so well. At the minute I have £404.59 in Berkshire Hathaway. Next up is Apple. Everyone knows Apple. iPhone, MacBook, AirPods. I buy Apple products every year or two whenever new ones start to come out, and I thought if I'm going to spend so much money on the product, I should probably own some shares in the company as well, because I believe that they will keep growing in future. In Apple, I have £417.41. Next up is IAG, which is International Airlines Group. Initially I bought IAG as a recovery play during the pandemic, when a lot of airlines, amusement parks, hotel companies, they'd all taken quite a hit, obviously because they were all closed. Right now I hold £328.36 in IAG. Up next is Starbucks. Anyone who knows me personally or follows me on social media knows that I have a complete caffeine addiction, and more to the point, a Starbucks addiction. I am not going to tell you how much money I spend on Starbucks a week because I'm absolutely embarrassed by it. But on the same vein as Apple, I decided if I was going to be spending this much money on a product or company, I should probably own shares in the company as well. And let me clarify this before I go any further. I am not proclaiming to be some sort of stocks and shares guru or even know what I'm doing. I'm just learning just like everyone else. Personally, I don't look at the price to earnings ratio, the stock charts, the graphs, the reports. I base my investments off of news and my own personal knowledge of the companies. Is this the best way to invest? No. This is why I invest most of my money in index funds, because it's safer, but I also do enjoy trying to invest in the stock market. So as you can see, I'm buying companies not based off their price itself, but based off what I think it will do in future. Next up is Argo Blockchain. As it says on the tin, they are a blockchain company. They deal with cryptocurrencies, and at the minute I have £60.60 in there. When I first opened up my Hargreaves Lansdown account, I invested in Argo Blockchain and tripled my money, took most of it out and left the £60 in. I believe anyway, I put £60 in, turned it into 180, took £120 out, and just left that initial £60.60 in. Next up, Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble own just about everything under your kitchen sink. Anything you're using to clean things, Procter & Gamble own it. And I'm relatively confident they will continue to do that. They're a big player in their space, and I think they will stay that way, so I bought some. So I have £297.11 in Procter & Gamble. Next up is Albemarle. The reason that I bought Albemarle is they deal with lithium, which is what goes in batteries, and with the production of electric cars, and in rules and regulations proclaiming that all cars on the road should be electric by 2030, I think. Investing in a company that has something to do with batteries, I thought might be a good idea. I've got £135.40 in them just now. It's a very small punt, but it's a punt nonetheless. Next up is Scottish Mortgage Trust, and I own £293.70 in Scottish Mortgage Trust. Up next is my most recent purchase, and that is Corsair. And Corsair are known for manufacturing things in the gaming and streaming industry. So if you watch gaming streamers, for example, chances are they are probably using some Corsair product. And it seems like they could be promising long term. Maybe not short term, but long term should be pretty good. So I own £182.91 in Corsair. Next up is AT&T, one of, if not the biggest telecommunications company in the US. AT&T aren't particularly known for their increase in share price as much as they are as a dividend stock. So right now I own £267.37 in AT&T. My plan is to increase that over time to hopefully produce a decent amount of dividend every year from that. As it stands just now, the £267 isn't going to produce a lot of dividend, but it's free money.
It's free real estate.
Next up is Latch Inc, and I have £199.82 with Latch. The next one is Tilray. Tilray are a cannabis company based in America. I thought the cannabis industry, given that in many states it's starting to become legal, I thought that it would be worth investing in a company in that space. Done a little bit of research. Tilray seemed like one that had potential, and it did. I invested some money into it. I don't remember how much, but the chart just went straight up and then came straight back down. So right now I hold £93.77. I'm just going to hold on to that and see what happens. Obviously, as I'd mentioned before, I'm not holding a massive amount of money in individual stocks and shares. As you can see, it's £200, £300 in most of them, because I don't want to have too much money tied up in them. One, out with an ISA where I'm liable for capital gains tax, and also because I would rather have most of my money in index funds where I will get a safer and more consistent return year on year long term. Next up is Proterra. I don't remember buying Proterra, but they're in there. £141.65. Someone let me know what Proterra does. Should I sell them? I don't know. I don't know. £141.65. And last but not least in the Hargreaves Lansdown account is my biggest loser and my biggest holding, and that is Tesla. We all know Tesla, and I think we all know that they are apparently very overvalued at the minute, and that's after I've taken a hit on this holding. Still apparently very overvalued, but I believe in the company as a whole. I plan on buying a Tesla soon. I think if they can continue to hit their production targets and over the long term increase their range of products, be it new models of cars, solar panels, Powerwall, charging, I think long term this will make me money, but right now it's losing me money. In Tesla, just now I own £990.11. Now we are on to the Etoro account. So if you've watched my previous videos, the Etoro account actually holds my 10 stocks that I bought through flipping a coin. So there was no rhyme or reason to buying these, but they're all doing pretty well at the minute. First up is Spirax Sarco. I hold £143.01 in there. Next up, Experian, £135.85. Up next is Halma PLC, and that is £128.89. After that is National Grid, £122.49. JD Sports, I was pretty happy with this one, to be honest. I spent some money in JD Sports, I'll get my gym stuff from there. £121.12. Hikma Pharmaceuticals, £119.71. BP, £116.99. Intertech Group, £111.66. Rio Tinto, £105.45. And Rolls Royce, not to be confused with the car company. Rolls Royce is actually aviation, plane engines, things like that. Biggest loser so far on this account, £92.24. So that is the total that I have in individual stocks, and that comes to £5,867.37. And that is obviously divided up by quite a lot of different companies. Obviously those 10 companies that I've just listed off from Etoro are only part of this coin flip experiment, which lasts a whole year. So I think it was February I started this. Next February I will probably sell those and then reinvest into the Hargreaves Lansdown account, or maybe just put them in an index fund depending on how they perform. And last but not least, the most exciting and the most terrifying of the three categories, and that's crypto. So I'll start from the bottom here. At the minute I own £214.31 in Solana, £349.77 in Cardano, £418.86 in Ripple. But what I will say is, at the tail end of last year I actually quintupled my money, quadrupled my money on Ripple. I didn't even realise. So that £418 is actually just the amount that I had initially invested. I took all the profits and reinvested it in other places, like some other cryptos and stocks. Luna, £470.42, and then the two big hitters, Ethereum at £2,632.02, and this was considerably higher 3 months ago, as we all know. And Bitcoin, £16,402.83. This was around £35,000 to £36,000 2 months ago. So I'm glad that I didn't start the portfolio updates last quarter, because this would have been an embarrassing one to reflect on the numbers. Still, £16,000 in Bitcoin. I'm going to hold on to it. I still believe the price will go up again eventually. It might not be this year, it might not be next year, but I do believe long term it's worth the investment, and I'm still buying every week. So in total, in cryptocurrency, I currently hold £20,488.21, which brings the full portfolio total to £59,821.52. I'm really quite annoyed. I'll be honest, I wish I had just put an extra £200 into an index fund to bring that up above 60,000, because that's annoyed me that it's just very shy of 60,000. But a healthy number nonetheless. I'm very happy with that number. I would have been a lot more happy if Bitcoin hadn't taken such a tumble, and Ethereum and all the other coins. But the money's still there, we still own the coins, and hopefully long term they will still go up. So I hope you found this interesting. Let me know in the comments if you have any problems with the shares that I own. If you think some are good, let me know if there's any suggestions on what you think I should research and maybe buy for next quarter. And let me know if you enjoyed this type of video. If so, I'll continue making them every quarter. And if everyone tells me they absolutely hate them, I won't make another. Thanks for watching. Thanks again, Ewan, for making the suggestion to make one of these videos. And I will see you again on Monday. Take it easy.